So it's been 10 months or so since I went to Italy, and I have to tell you, I'm feeling great. I know I've been meaning to do a lot more videos, but I've just been feeling so good. I've lost 60 pounds, and my heart is in great shape, and I feel awesome. Except when I don't. Turns out, in Italy, they left one vessel, my obtuse marginal, unfinished. We talked about it when I was there, and he elected not to do it. Well, it's a year later, and it looks like I'm getting it done here in the United States with a drug-coated balloon. I'm one of the first in the country to do it as part of a clinical trial, and I am super excited. It's all happening in 3 days. I'm Adam, and I flew from Mechanicsville, Virginia to Milan, Italy to have my heart revascularized using metal-free PCI. I did this because the options in the United States are very limited, and if you want to find out more about what I did and why I did it, then please keep watching. So a year has gone by, and during that year, I've been taking nitrates the entire time because one of my vessels was not done while I was in Italy. I feel great, and my vessel has responded very well to the nitrates, so much so that I've been skiing at 13,000 feet. I've gone around to different international locations traveling. I work out every day. I run on the treadmill. My heart is in great shape. Except over that year, the nitrates have become less and less effective to the point where sometimes when I wake up in the morning before I take them, my chest hurts. And it's only going to get worse. And I've spoken to my doctor about it. And turns out that they've expanded the clinical trials of the SELUTION DCB here in the United States, where instead of there being a control group where I only have a 50-50 shot of getting a DCB, I have a 100% chance of getting the DCB as part of a subgroup that they've just expanded the trial to here in the United States. One of the first places they're doing the expanded trial is right here in Richmond, Virginia, and I get to have one. And I am super excited about that. In fact, my doctor, to quote him, said, instead of you having to go back to Italy to have this last part finished, we're going to bring Italy right to you. And I am excited to have this done. So why am I so adamant on getting a DCB instead of a stent? And the answer is that I'm still only 59 years old. I believe I'm quite young to be having this done, although many of the people I've spoken to since I did my first video are in their 30s who've had problems. The number of people who are under 40 who have heart trouble in this country is just astounding. But still, even at 59, I consider myself quite young to have a stent that will be in place for hopefully another 30 years. And stents in the United States are the primary tool that they use, but what they don't talk about are the complications that are quite common with stents, because they put them in and they need to save your life. But stents aren't really a great option to have in there for a long time. The failure rate for stents in the United States is approximately 3% per year once you've had them put in.
But, you know, what is so bad with stents, but we've seen this at a lot of these types of meetings, the difficulty is that with a stent, once the stent is in there, there is stent-related MACE that's doesn't plateau, so it's between 2 and 3% per year, and that keeps on going every year. So we, you know, if you follow patients over 10 years, there's no plateau in that, and we see it year after year. So, you know, if we have a patient who's, you know, in their 40s and who's going to have maybe a life expectancy over 40 more years, they're going to accrue a lot of risk related to that metal that's in the artery over that time.
So if they don't have problems right away, that means after 10 years, there's a 30% chance you're going to have a problem from some sort for your stent. After 20 years, there's a 60% chance you're going to have a problem with your stent. Now, in the case of me, where I had diffuse disease, if they use a very long stent or a very small diameter stent, that failure rate is quite a bit higher. In fact, it goes way, way up, which is why I went to Italy, and I went effectively from untreatable here in the United States to effectively cured. And when I say effectively cured, I do mean that. My heart looks 20 years younger. I feel great. Everything's good, except for this one vessel they didn't do, and we're going to do again in a few days. 2 days ago, I had this done. I went down to the hospital. Here I am there, looking out at a great big sign proclaiming one of the 50 best hospitals. I wonder who Watson Health is. I think sometimes they just pay Watson Health or whoever to get these 50-foot banners telling them that they're really good, but whatever. So if you've never had a heart cath done, it's actually surprisingly easy and painless and very quick. In fact, I was awake the whole time and I never felt a thing, not even when they put the catheter in my wrist. It was really quite as pleasant experience as you could have for something like this. It took about an hour and then we were all done. In the end, things did not go as I thought. I did get the DCB. I got the SELUTION DCB, which is the same exact device that I had put in Italy. In Italy, they put in 7 of them. Here, they only put in 1. And it was not exactly as I thought it was going to be, but in the end, it all worked out very well. So I'll do another video on how exactly that was done and how it came out. But for the most part, it was a fairly good experience, and I got the DCB right here in the United States, and it was a pretty easy, pain-free procedure. And here I am 2 days later, and everything's great. And if you're interested in trying to understand whether or not you can get a DCB, I will put links below to the NIH website on this particular clinical trial, the SELUTION 4 DeNovo trial. And there's 27 locations around the country where they are going to be doing this or are still doing it. Most of them are east of the Mississippi, but there are some in Dallas and Arizona and Colorado and California. But it is all around. It's in New York, Florida, Virginia, DC, Atlanta. There's all these locations, and you can see that from the link below in the website if you're interested in finding out more. Or you can contact me at mydcbjourney@gmail.com, and I will try to get back to you and at least teach you about my experience and help you understand if this is something that you want to try to get into and the best way to try to do that. So with that, I'll let you go.